Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Sunday evening, so it's time for FMTV Weekly. I'm Peter Brown, and we're gonna have some fun tonight, talking some MLS, talking soccer. But I'm not doing it alone. Let's welcome in Uncle Ed for the festivities tonight.
How you doing, guys? Nice to see you. Well, for you guys to see me because I can't see you, but yeah, we're pretty excited. It looks like we might have a season, Peter.
Yeah, we definitely have something in the works, and so we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. But if you haven't jumped into the chat room, please do so. Well, announce yourself in the chat, and let's get talking. Let's get conversing back and forth. This show is yours, so if you want to direct the show a little bit, do so in the chat. And but before we get anywhere with that stuff, I am extremely excited to say that our sponsor, Caneswear, is open. The store is open, Ed. So everybody can go if you were, you didn't want to buy something online because you wanted to go in the store and try something on. No problem. It's open now. And I'm excited about it. I have, as I mentioned last week, I have a gift card that was given to me as a birthday gift, and unfortunately, nobody else. I mean, I expected some gift cards in the mail, Ed, from some people.
Come
Nobody,
on,
nobody else.
you.
Only my
I guess
father.
There's no love for the Peter.
No.
For the Peter.
But I'm gonna go. I'm planning on going to Caneswear tomorrow on Monday. I'm planning on hitting up Caneswear, driving over there, and bring my wife, and maybe.
That could get expensive.
It can, because she wanted to go to the store to check out and see what kind of women's shirts they have and gear they have, because she wants to get an Inter Miami shirt as well. So what's great is also that inside the store and online, most of the apparel is reduced in price, 25% right now. So you don't even need a code, but go in and mention FMTV nonetheless, just to let them know that you're watching, and so that they know that their advertising is working, right? So, But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna go tomorrow, spend some money. I got $50 to spend, and I'll probably spend more. That's just gonna be like I'm gonna get a $50 discount, right? So it'll be fun. So join me at Caneswear tomorrow. I don't know what time I'll be there, but hit me up on Twitter or something, and we can coordinate.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
let me know so I can let people know. Peter's going to be there, so go check it out, and maybe you'll get even a bigger discount because you'll show up with Peter.
Don't make any kind of weird promises like that.
Well, I'm not promising. I'm just saying.
No, they're going to get what the store offers, the same offer as everybody else. Nothing special, but we can hang out 6 feet apart.
Talk about hanging out, Peter. Like everybody expected a show, a video from you on Thursday, and all of a sudden you told me you can't do it, and I was like, well, I had to step up because you were hunting for wabbits or something.
Yeah.
What happened?
We are planning on moving the FMTV studio to a new facility.
Nice. He's in the process. Peter's in the process of doing that, so it's going to happen soon. And yeah, guys. Sorry you had to see my ugly mug. You didn't get to see Peter. Skin and bones, Peter Brown, downtown Peter Brown. But that's how it goes sometimes.
Well, and this is going to happen a little bit more often over the next month, because when you close on a house, there's a lot of things that you got to do. So there may be some more missed shows here and there, but it'll be we'll have a better studio and more space to maybe do some more cool stuff. So that'll be good.
Cool.
Ed.
Yeah.
I heard you got a nice promotion recently.
Yes, guys. I'm going to have to leave soon because I'm going to go and I'm going to be coach of FC Cincinnati.
So you're trading in the pink.
Saw my picture.
Trading in the pink and putting in for orange, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, Ed, I was online and I was on the internet, and I saw that every bald guy under the sun was getting this Cincinnati job. So might as well be you.
I'm headed to Cincinnati, man. I'm bald. I'm one of the bald guys. So I kind of look like Yapstam, don't I? Okay.
Yeah, and so does this guy. This is the official tweet from FC Cincinnati that came out that said, "Join us in welcoming the new head coach of FC Cincinnati, Jaap Stam." Meanwhile, it's not a picture of Jaap Stam. It's some other dude who's in the soccer business, and it is Dutch. I forgot his name. It's a harder name to say, but it's not the right guy. And they got hammered online.
Oh man, did they, Peter? I was cracking up. They got everybody from, Bruce Willis was one of the guys that was there.
Jason Statham.
Yeah. Oh man, it just kept going, and they wouldn't stop. And I was cracking up.
We need to put out a tweet, giving you credit for getting the job.
Yeah. You got to put a picture of me up, congratulating Cincinnati for doing the right thing and giving me the job.
That's right. Trade in that pink for that orange. But it's a crappy team, so good luck there.
Yeah, I know, man. He's gonna. I'm sure he's got a long contract because it's gonna take him a while to make that team good.
Yeah, and Cincinnati's got that Dutch connection because of their general manager's a Dutch dude, and so I think it's general manager or president or whatever he is.
They should take you over there, Peter. We'll talk about Dutch.
I know. I don't want to move to Cincinnati, but I do have some Dutch.
That's You're getting a house over here in South Florida.
Yeah, and that's why my name is all screwed up the way I spell it. It's because my family is Dutch. So yeah. Anyways, hey Ed, why don't you take a minute and welcome in everybody that's in the chat, and let's start talking to some of these guys.
Well, yeah, let's go. Judge Dredd has been in here for the past hour, I think, because he's he's a hardcore fan. Judge, you're the best, man. Thanks for following us. Boriculano is also one of the guys. I think he's told me he's half Puerto Rican. That's the Boricua, and then the other part is for Venezuelan. So that explains his name.
Yeah.
One world, one goal. Always here with us. Thanks so much. We've known her for such a long time, since back in the Fusion days. Eric Thomas is always, man. Can't wait till we go to another game, man. Because I saw him in L.A., man. He comes out in one of the videos that I took over there too.
All right.
Who else we got? Anu Wiseman. Hello. Thanks for. She's with Atlanta.
Yes, from up in Atlanta. Yeah.
Thanks for checking us out. And you know what? We were supposed to play Atlanta this week, Peter.
Yeah. Where's my keys? Here. It's funny is I have the Inter Miami schedule downloaded on my iCalendar, and so every weekend I'm getting alerts saying game starts in an hour or whatever, and so every weekend I have a reminder of what I'm missing in my face, right? And it's like, and every once in a while I look at my wife and I like. 2 weeks ago, I think it was raining. I mean, it's raining here now. But a couple of weeks ago, it was raining. And I said, we should be at Lockhart right now. And we would be thankful for the fact that I bought seats that are covered because we could enjoy the game in the rain, unlike yourself.
Raining a lot right now, so. Peter, let me finish up with some of the other people that were here. Beto Finol is in here. He's actually asking, what happened to the construction updates, Peter Brown?
Well, they're basically done. So the reason there hasn't been any updates really is because there's nothing else to see from the outside. The last time I was there, they still had to put up some screens or something like that, but nothing was really changing. And so the last time I went there was nothing different. I guess I could probably swing by again, but it's going to be, I don't know what I'm going to show you because there's just really nothing. Everything, it's the fine tuning that's happening on the inside with a skeleton crew. So there's really not a whole lot to see. I mean, Ed, you were there last. You could tell us what you saw when you were there passing out food.
Yeah. You know what? It was. We got to go on the inside. There's just little things that they're fixing. Right. But the stadium's basically done, man.
It's done.
It's done. I got to go inside. The grass looks incredible. That pitch, man. There was a bird that was a pigeon that was in the middle of the field, and I was like, man, I wish I was that pigeon, because
I walked that pitch. I already walked it once. It was just
walking around like nothing, and dude, it was great. The view was incredible from up in the stands as well. So we got a little view of what we were hoping to see this season. Oh man, Peter, it just makes me sad that we might not be able to be in the stands this year.
Yeah, and so that's what we're going to talk about today, Ed. Ed is so we talked about this a little bit last week. I think it was last week, maybe it was a week before, where there was MLS and Disney have basically are working on something to play all their games in Orlando, do a tournament. At the time, we weren't sure if it was a tournament or if it would be the whole season, but we were figuring on a tournament. And they're going to play at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex. I always have a hard time saying that, but they're going to play there. They're going to stay at one of the Disney hotels or multiple Disney hotels. There's a plethora of hotels there, great hotels, and so we got some information about that. And now, thanks to The Athletic, there's more information. The Athletic is a website, the sports website, and they got actually a internal MLS document that kind of outlined what the tournament will look like. And it's not a rumor anymore. They're definitely looking at, anything can happen. It could fall apart, but they're definitely looking at playing a World Cup style tournament at the Wide World of Sports Complex using the Coronado Springs Hotel that we're showing right here. Beautiful resort. This would be the home base for all the players. Plenty of space. I didn't look up how many rooms, but there's a lot of rooms there. And they recently just built this new tower called Grand Destino. It's priced just for FYI. It's priced at like a mid-level hotel, but it looks like a luxury hotel. So it's a great facility, and these are close to the Wide World of Sports Complex. So it makes complete sense that it would be there. But so that's what we're talking about tonight, Ed.
Peter, what they made a breakdown, if I'm not mistaken. How many groups are there going to be?
So there'll be 4 groups, and there'll be, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, it was 12 teams on the East. So two groups will be East teams, and 14 teams in the West. So the other 2 groups will be West teams. So each team would play 5 games. And the interesting thing is, let me pull up some of my notes. So each group you'd have. LAFC would be the first team in a group. So you know how, like in the World Cup, they've always got the rankings, right? So who's ranked the top team. So LAFC would be ranked as a top team. Seattle would be ranked as a top team. And then Orlando would be ranked as a top team. I know they don't deserve it, but just think about a World Cup, the host is considered.
That's the closest they'll get to being a top
anything,
anyway.
A top any, except for a top loser.
Those guys.
And Atlanta. So the talk is whether or not. So originally there was going to be Atlanta, LAFC, Seattle, Toronto as the top teams, because that makes sense because they were the top teams that finished in the tournament. But Orlando's got to be in there. So either Atlanta will be the second or Toronto will be the second. They're not 100% sure of who will get that, but it'll be. World Cup style. Each team will play 5 games in a group play, and then
I just pulled something up right now from ESPN, and they're saying that Atlanta would be the other one.
Okay, and then Toronto would have to be the second team, then below Orlando, since Orlando's getting that top spot.
Yeah, there we go. So interesting, man. I don't know, but yeah, Orlando doesn't deserve it, man. What the hell?
Yeah, or One World One Goal is correcting me. It's top seed, top spot, whatever. You know what I mean.
So Peter, okay. So the winners of each group and the runner-up are the ones that move up to the second phase.
So the winner of each group moves up into the top 2 teams, just like in the World Cup. So the top 2 teams from each group moves up into the knockout rounds.
Okay.
And so then we have the knockout rounds. And the interesting thing with the knockout rounds is that there will be no extra time in those games. So those games will go, the full 90, and if it's tied, they're going to go directly to penalty kicks.
Oh, so there has to be a winner.
There has to be a winner because it's a knockout round.
Gotcha.
And then we just keep going up till finally you have a champion. Teams will all be quarantined in Coronado Springs. And, I think if I remember, the number was somewhere around 48. I think people per team are allowed to, be there. So something like 30 players, then the training staff, the coaches, one person for video content, one person that is a media relations person, and I guess that's about it, and so all of them quarantine, and the same plan that we kind of talked about in the past, where the first week, the plan is for them to get up there the beginning of June, spend 1 week, everybody's still doing solo training just like they're doing here, and then the next week they go into like small group play, and then eventually the week after they go on full on contact, doing 3 to 4 weeks of full preseason training before they start play in early July.
Okay, wow. So it's quite a process. I did see an interview. I think it was Taylor Twellman talking to Alejandro Bedoya, where he wasn't too thrilled about the idea of being locked in. He says it was going to be a luxurious prison or something like that.
I mean, that's a prison I don't mind being in, I'll tell you that. But he's not the only one. There's several players that have brought up some real issues. Carlos Vela being one of them. Carlos Vela, his wife is pregnant for his second child, and she is scheduled to have the child in April. Mm-hmm. So now you're saying he's going to be quarantined, and family is not allowed to be there. Only players. I mean, so then the normal thing in sports is when somebody's going to have a kid, they'll let them leave. They'll miss that game or whatever, and they'll go be with their family, and then they'll come back as soon as they can. But in this situation, if you let Carlo Vela go and be with his wife and be there for the birth, then when you bring him back, you now have to quarantine him for another at least week, maybe 14 days before he could start playing. So he doesn't now miss maybe one game. He may miss 3 weeks of games if you release him, right? So, some of the players here was another interesting thing that players had brought up, was that they asked the question, will the hotel staff be quarantined? Will they be quarantined in the hotel just like the players? And the answer is no. And the players' argument is that, well, if they're allowed to go home and be with their families, why can't our families come and stay with us?
And the problem there is also, I mean, they're out and about. They could come back with the virus.
Sure. You think? So it's kind of hard to tell all these Disney employees that work at the hotel that you can't go home just because we have a sports teams here. So it's a tough situation, but the players do have a good point. Like, why not allow the players to have their families come and stay with them? There's enough rooms.
There is, definitely.
Of course, that means cost. Disney's not just giving this away. There is a relationship with ESPN and Disney, and owns ESPN and MLS. So maybe they get a great discount, but I'm sure they're paying for it. Yeah. So that's a big extra cost of food and hotels and all that stuff for the families, but that would make the players a heck of a lot happier if they could have their families there. But no matter what, I don't know what you do with Vela and his wife having a kid, because even if she's in the hotel, he's still got to leave to go to the hospital to be with his wife. You can't just sit there and say you can't go to the hospital unless the hospital doesn't allow people in, which that was happening before. With the whole pandemic, they weren't expecting fathers to come into the hospital, but I'm assuming that's loosened up by now.
Yeah, wow, it's quite a dilemma, man. But I mean, I think all of us want to see soccer again, and I being I don't want to be mean, but they're getting paid for it. So as far as Vela, maybe that's. Do you know when his wife is due?
Sometime in April. But something that.
So she's just got pregnant then.
Something.
April, you said?
No. She's due. I said April, didn't I?
Yeah, you said April.
No, that can't be right. We're in May. Whatever. I don't know. It's soon. Due soon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. That's a dilemma.
I can find that. That piece.
Let me give a shout out to we've got Futboler. He's out there. I also want to say Ricky Ricardo. He's also, of course, on here. Julio Enriquez, that's Julio Cesar. How you doing, man? See, I knew who you are. And that's about it for now.
Okay, so I read this wrong. I read it wrong. So his wife is pregnant with the couple's second child. She and Vela announced that she was 15 weeks along on April 14th.
Oh, okay.
So she still has some time. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I don't know how much time. I'm not. I stink at math. Still has time. Yeah. I know Julio Enriquez. I messed up. But anyway, she would potentially give birth while he's at this tournament.
Yeah, wow.
So the same questions are still there. You know, it's just my time. So I read it wrong.
Right. But wow, that's interesting. I mean, I want to be selfish and say, man, you know what? They're getting paid more money than we're getting paid. So the least they could do is give us some football, you know?
So something I wanted to bring up is that it's something that Anu Weissman had mentioned, our fan from Atlanta, that he can refuse to play. So what I also read is this is completely optional. They're not forcing the players, but I'm sure MLS will put something in there that if you don't play, you don't get paid. But if the players don't want to participate, they don't have to.
Oh, wow.
So, but you know, most players I'm sure are going to suck it up and do it. But you know, this isn't going to get done if the MLS Players Association, the union, doesn't sign off on it.
Right. And they did give 20%, was it?
Well, no, that hasn't been agreed upon yet either.
Oh.
So they wanted, so this went back and forth a few times of different salary cuts. Eventually, the MLS proposed a 20% salary cut on everybody. And last thing I read, I didn't put this in my notes, but was that the Players Association kind of negotiated back. I think it was 10%, but only players that make above a certain amount of money, and that they would still those players would get. It's not a pay cut; it's like a pay delay, so they would get it at a later date.
Gotcha.
So that's. But I mean, if teams have lost revenue, I don't know how you can make them pay at a later date. I don't know. It's a touchy situation, but it's interesting. I want to see this happen big time. I love the idea of it being a World Cup tournament and you know, something different, right? But the question I have, Ed, is so, you know, we've got you know, these points get added on to what's already happened. So that's one question. I would think not.
No, I think they start from scratch.
Start from scratch, right?
Tournament, yeah.
Okay, so now let's say Inter Miami wins this tournament, and they're now the MLS Cup champions. Are they still the regular Cup champions? And if you say yes, then is there an asterisk?
There's probably going to be an asterisk, Peter.
Right, because you're playing fewer games. It's not the same long, grueling season that other teams have had to, you know, do.
But you know what? I'd still take it.
Oh, hell yeah, you take it. A championship's a championship. And
it might be a good thing that, you know, this kind of happened for our, you know, selfish purposes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, there was one guy, FS Spragues, I think. No, F Spragues, I think is his name. He says MLS can gain market share if they're first to air team sports.
First in the U.S., yeah. And somebody else had mentioned in here as well that NBA is, here it is, One World, One Goal had mentioned NBA is looking to go to Disney Orlando as well. Yeah, and and Disney also proposed this whole plan to Major League Baseball as well. The facility's big enough because, you know, the MLS players will be playing on the soccer field, so that has no impact on what's going on over in the basketball court that they have, the indoor basketball court that they have, right? So they could. My dog keeps running back and forth and kicking my camera. You know, so they can host many different pro sports tournaments there at the same time. And say MLS is staying at Coronado Springs, you could have NBA at a different place and Major League Baseball at a different hotel. There's plenty of hotels to go. But at the same time, Disney is planning on reopening soon. So I don't know how many hotels and how many they want to use up for these, and say, you know, they're working on reopening themselves. And so at some point, and the rumor is maybe in July, at some point they're going to want to open those hotels up to regular guests. But you know, I don't know. Money's money. I guess Disney's not going to care who's paying them, whether it be guest or whether it be NBA.
Money, those guys are happy.
Yeah, as long as they're getting paid.
So yeah, cool. A lot of stuff is. I'm just excited that there's a plan out there and that there's a possibility of them starting to play, because man, it's been forever, and I've been watching German soccer, but
I watched a little bit.
Man.
I watched a little bit of the Bayern Munich game, and they were beating up on Frankfurt, I think 5-2, I think it was.
Yeah. Some crazy score.
Yeah, but it is cool seeing those games in those stadiums where you can hear all the players. Now, of course, they're speaking German or whatever they're speaking. I can't understand anything, but you can still hear all the yelling on the field and stuff. It's kind of a cool dynamic.
Right. Well, it's all we can get now, Peter. So I wanted to bring up that there was another game on video game. They're big on these video games, Peter.
There's all these e-tournaments. You talking about the Pizarro one?
The Pizarro played against Raúl Jimenez from the Wolves. They play over in the Premiership, and Pizarro won. I think it was a 3-2 aggregate. They played a couple of games, and it was hosted by the Univision guys, Ramsey Sandoval and Luis Omar Tapia, who by the way, Luis Omar Tapia is going to be on our Spanish show on Tuesday at 9 p.m.
Nice. Tune in for that.
You guys got to check that out. We're going to talk about everything that has to do with Inter Miami and Major League Soccer. I'm going to probably bring this up, with the possibility of the whole tournament. And Peter, one of the things that we had talked about in the previous show is how are they going to be able to transmit these games? Because ESPN's, they're going to be showing some of the games, but what about Univision? Are they going to be allowed to take their cameras over there? How's it going to work? I
would imagine they got to work out a deal, or MLS has got to give back a bunch of money to the other companies, right? And they're not doing that. So obviously they're going to have to work out some sort of deal. It's okay that it's at the ESPN complex. I'm sure there's no problem. If I remember correctly, I think I might have seen some Wide World of Sports complex games on like Fox Sports before. Like preseason tournaments and things like that have happened up there. I'm pretty sure. So, they're just going to have to work out a schedule, because obviously it's less games. So it's not the same schedule they had before, or same amount of games, but they're going to have to work out something between their, three partners. I mean, I imagine, who gets screwed over maybe is your local teams like CBS. I don't know. It's CBS. I would think at this point, every game is a national game. So are there going to be any local broadcasted games?
That's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. And I'm going to ask him tomorrow and see what he says.
That's a good question. Yeah.
So we'll see what's up with that. But yeah, it's interesting that they've done all these e-games. What was it called? What were they called?
EMLS or EUSL or esports.
Yeah, all these sports things and all these games
Can you get into it, Ed? I don't know. Maybe it's my age. I just can't get into it. I can't watch. I'm just like, whatever.
Oh, I watched this game. I watched a couple of the other ones too, but
I tried.
But some people can't do it.
I tried on the first one and I got bored quick.
It's because you're old, Peter.
Yeah, well, maybe it's right. Maybe you're right. maybe that's true. And you know what? If I'm gonna watch it, I need to hear more trash talking. I want you to play it up. And they're not really trash talking all that much. Once in a while, a little bit here and there, but they're all pretty friendly. I want to hear some serious trash talking if I'm going to watch it, because, otherwise it's just like,
It's not entertaining. You're right. They don't talk smack to each other, These guys did a little bit because they know each other.
But it was in Spanish, right?
Yeah, it was in Spanish. So
it still wouldn't be able to help me.
They did go back and forth a little bit, but like the one that Fernando Fiore did in English,
right?
He was the one who was talking smack and making us laugh. So but it should have been the teams talking, the players talking smack.
You can always count on Fernando Fiore to make it entertaining. You have him, guaranteed it's going to be a little bit entertaining at least. I mean, he's the perfect person for that. Because, because again, it's kind of boring to me. So bring somebody like Fernando in there to make it exciting. Bring Ray in there or something, Ray Hudson in there and make it exciting. But, no offense to the other people that have done it, but
Well, look, footballer is saying, "Nah, please don't call Peter an old fart, because he'll fire you. See, you're gonna fire me."
Fire me.
Yeah.
Fire you. Yeah. Who's the boss here, Ed?
I don't know, man.
I don't either. I don't know
you're
either.
You're gonna fire me. That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, so let's go back in the chat a little bit, and let's change the subject a little bit here. Jose Martinez says, what is your guys' opinion on the reports of Diego Alonso asking management to acquire Paraguayan international left back Santiago Arzamendia, being that the roster is stacked with defenders? What do you think about that, Ed?
He's a pretty good player, man, but I don't know, man. We are stacked with defenders. I don't know if I think the
no
player that they wanted to bring in, that Almendra kid, was a good idea, because he plays like a defensive midfielder.
Right.
He's a midfielder.
Right.
So he can play anywhere around that area. But this guy, yeah, he's a left back. We got plenty of defenders, man.
Yeah, I don't want to. And I don't know enough about this player. Would he be DP money? Is he that big a name?
He might be TAM at least, but he'd be kind of expensive. But
so so we need a new DP, and then we have money, and then we have another international spot. So he'd be that other international spot, maybe, which is still, as much money as you can make and not be a DP. I don't want that. Yeah, give me more depth in the attack. We need a number 9, and then maybe somebody in the midfield, not in the defense. I think we're okay in the defense. Not that we're I mean, I don't know if our young defenders that we have there are great or not. We've only seen them a couple of games in some preseason, and we weren't 100% sold on the defense. But I think we need more attack than we need defense.
Yeah. Until we see how Carranza's doing, hopefully he's recovered well.
But we need, but you don't have to play with one up top. Put Carranza with another guy up top.
Well, you can put Agudelo maybe. Agudelo was a little shaken up, but during the first 2 games, he should be recovered now.
Yeah, he's off the bench player in my opinion. I like Agudelo. He was great when he was on the show and all that, but I think he's an off the bench player at this time of his career. But if we're going to spend money, we got to spend it in the attack, I think, not in the defense. Although that's what, remember when we had Nico Cantor on our Thursday night show, he also agreed that it should be a defender.
Yeah, stack up the defenders. Wow.
Suffocate teams with, I guess not allowing them to score. So it'd be low scoring games, in that opinion. But that goes against everything that this ownership group and management has said. Well, we were going to be an attacking team. Paul McDonough kept saying over and over again, we're going to be an attacking team. Diego Alonso said the same thing.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I know that he's a good player, but I kind of, I'm with you, Peter. I think we need forward players, at least another midfielder and at least another striker.
Exactly. Judge Dredd says, no more defenders, please.
Yeah. See, everybody I think is thinking the same way.
And a new Weissman is saying he was linked to Atlanta. So this player's been, I guess, linked to a few teams around.
There's a few players, and let's see. There was another player that I heard was coming. Gosh darn it, Peter Brown. I forgot who he was, and I forgot to write it down. There is another player that's coming, but
all right. Well, while you're thinking, what about this? One World One Goal says, why don't we bring home Bedoya or Josie Altidore to play forward? So bringing home the locals.
I'd like them. Bedoya more than Josie, because I think he
doesn't have much left in the tank.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, and he's prone to injuries. Bedoya is a workhorse.
And I think if I'm not wrong, Josie signed last year or the year before. He signed a pretty fat contract, so he's I think finishing his career up in Toronto.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's going to happen. He likes Toronto. He's always putting up pictures in his accounts, social media. So it looks like he's liking it there.
Yeah. Eric Thomas also agrees our defense is fine compared to our offense. Let's concentrate on signing that number 9, all caps, please.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, I think every fan, although, you hope the coach knows more than we do, right? But we want attacking soccer. We want to be fun to watch. One goal's really pushing Bedoya. We can trade a defender for Bedoya.
Like I said, man, I think Bedoya is still a great player. He's a workhorse, so he'd do great over here. Plus, his family all lives over here. So
isn't he? Where's he at? Isn't he with Philadelphia?
With Philadelphia.
Yeah,
right
we
now.
saw him in the preseason.
Yeah. So yeah. Actually, he took down Pizarro. I think we got
happened
video
right in front of me. Happened right in front of me. Yeah.
You got video of that. So that was pretty funny.
All right, Judge Dredd, the law is asking any more news on our sponsor for the kits, or are we just still going to battle wearing the magnificent blank spot? I got a feeling. I mean, everything we had heard is a deal was pretty much done, but then this whole thing happens with the pandemic and airlines are in trouble. I would imagine that deal's not done anymore. So I think we're playing blank for this season.
This is the year of blank. Yeah.
And I was holding off buying the jersey. I bought a couple other shirts. I was holding off on buying the jersey because I wanted to get a jersey with the sponsor on it. But if there's not going to be a sponsor, guess I'll buy a jersey tomorrow.
Yeah. I think I'm going to buy that black one. I was holding back on the same thing because I wanted the black one with the sponsor, but
yeah,
I'm going to have to give in.
If I'm buying a jersey tomorrow at Caneswear, I'm buying, I think, the black one. I think I'm going black first.
Yeah. Well, I got the white one back here, but I need the black one now.
Yeah.
Even though I can't wear it to the stadium.
And everybody says Publix on the kit or Cafe Bustelo. One World, One Goal says that. Hey, look, we've mentioned this before. I think we've said this like every show. Is the shirt sponsors should be, those local store, not necessarily local, those stores, because we're going to be. The plan is we're going to be a global team, so we can get a global sponsor or at least a national sponsor. But Publix is doing really, really well right now in this pandemic. They're in Walmart's doing really well. There's several stores. Who else is doing really well? But they wouldn't sponsor us because they're an Atlanta company. Home Depot is doing really, really well because every time I go there, it's packed because everybody's home doing home projects. Since they can't go anywhere on the weekend, they stay home and do home projects. So there's definitely a lot of stores that are doing well. And of course, there's other stores like I heard JCPenney's is going out of business. But that's been a long time coming. Coming.
But yeah, a lot of these companies are pulling the plug now because they've been closed for so long, and especially that one. That one's been hurting for a while, and this was just the nail on the coffin.
This is a good one here. Footballer says, Peter, Ed, does Judge Dredd the Law own stock on FMTV Weekly by any chance?
Pretty much could, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he's made enough shows to earn some shares. All right. He's definitely.
He wants to though. Hey, we might do that. We might put it up on the stock market.
Yeah, there you go. Eric Thomas agrees. Unfortunately, Peter, I think we're back to square one with the sponsors, especially if it's going to be any airline or tourism related sponsor. But I think Purell or Lysol may be free. LOL.
No, those guys are making money.
Hand over fist.
Or Charmin. They could work, or Bounty, the quicker picker upper. Those guys are making money.
Yeah, I don't need a toilet paper on my shirt though, Ed.
Dude, whatever, man. Right now they need money, man. They've spent so much money. This team has spent so much money.
Yeah, but our owners have deep pockets. They'll be fine. But you want them to make the money more so, not because I'm concerned about their financial stability or anything like that, but just because they can use that to grow the team that much more, and I like that. But they're gonna get a sponsor, but I think we're gonna have to wait. I think I posed this question a few weeks ago: is what companies right now are willing to write that big fat check? We had heard that that airline deal was worth like what $240 million. Who's gonna write that kind of check now?
They should have signed it right, when they had the chance, right?
Yeah. It was Qatar Airways. Yeah. I mean, the airlines are in trouble right now. Nobody wants to fly, so they're in trouble. I mean, anything tourism related is in trouble, and I don't know, Ed. I think to everybody's question, I think we're playing no sponsor. JVM5 agrees. No full season equals no sponsor. I would agree. I think we're starting over fresh in 2021.
See, we got there. Julio's talking Flanagan's would be cool.
Yeah, but is Flanagan's out? they're just a local company, right? I don't know if they have enough deep enough wall. And again, they're in trouble. They're probably in financial trouble as well. Not maybe going out of business, but all these restaurants have been struggling as well as because they haven't been open. And now that they're allowed to open, they're opening up in 25% capacity, something like that. I mean, we've been going to restaurants a little bit here and there. We went to today. We went to McAllister's Deli. I know there's one in Doral. Ed, but a little deli that we like, but we're just going in, we're picking up the food, we're walking out, and that's it. Or do curbside pickup and stuff like that. But not enough people are doing that. These restaurants are hurting just as much as other businesses. So they're not sponsoring anything.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, definitely we're not gonna get any sponsors this year. So let's deal with that. Hopefully, we'll get a sponsor next year, guys.
I like where Eric Thomas is thinking. Maybe we can get Caneswear as the official sponsor.
Well, their store was shut, but it's open now, like Peter said earlier, and I said it in the news show too.
Yeah.
Now I know Peter didn't even watch the news because I mentioned that Caneswear was open.
I did watch the news.
That's the least you could do.
I did watch the news.
Least you could do.
I thought it was very, very good job, Ed. I thought you did well.
Oh,
but putting my picture up as the thumbnail is probably not going to get anybody to watch.
Well, that's probably why not many people saw it. Also, I was running behind schedule, and I think we put it up at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
I think we learned that we got to put those things up in the morning. That's when more people watch them.
So here's a question. I don't want to, we talk mostly Miami, Inter Miami, but here's a question. Ken Ostring, what do you think of Miami FC of the USL Championship? Here, let's break down one of the. Here's what I think of them. I got one of their scarves here.
Yeah.
Here's a Miami scarf right here. You can see it. So we're fans. Ed and I are fans of all the local teams down here. We want soccer in South Florida to do well at all levels. I had
brought it up, Peter. They canceled the USL season, right?
Yeah, it's done. So there's no games, there's no tournament, there's no nothing right now.
That's a hard hit, especially for them. They're probably one of the most successful teams that we've had in South Florida in quite a while.
Yeah, and this was going to be their first year in the USL Championship, and they've dominated every league they've played in. So it's going to be real exciting. I was planning on that first game that we missed. It was going to be on Friday night. You're going to have the USL. You're going to have Miami FC. I think they might have been playing Tampa. I'm not 100% sure, but their first game was going to be on a Friday night, and then Inter Miami's first home game was going to be on that Saturday. And I was like, man, I'm going to have a great soccer weekend. I'm going to go see both South Florida soccer teams.
I wasn't going to appreciate it, but you were.
Yeah, I would enjoy it. My family would be cool with it. But so yeah, we support them. But at the end of the day, though, here's the challenge. So I support both, right? But I'll cheer for Miami FC when I'm at a Miami FC game, and I'll cheer for Inter Miami when I'm at Inter Miami game. But what happens when they play each other in the Open Cup?
Ooh.
Where do you go, Ed?
Wow, that's going to be tough, Peter. That's going to be a tough one, but
naturally, you're going to cheer for Inter Miami. I know the answer to that question already.
Yeah,
you're trying to be nice. You're trying to be nice, but you're going to cheer for Inter Miami. Here's my problem. My natural reaction is to cheer for Inter Miami as well, but I am a fan of the underdog. I like the underdog stories. I think it would be awesome and fun story to see Miami FC beat Inter Miami in the U.S. Open. That would be an interesting story. But it's hard to cheer against you see more pink. I haven't bought a Miami FC shirt, but I'm buying plenty of Inter Miami, so it tells you where my heart is. Right. But I do enjoy a nice underdog story.
Oh, yeah, that'd be something. But then what if Miami United plays against Miami FC? Where would your heart be?
Same problem. Then I might go underdog. I might go Miami United.
It's underdog, yeah.
And we're friends with the ownership group over there, and Roberto Sacca is a great guy, and cheer for him any chance we can. So, you know what? Roberto needs to give me a Miami United scarf, because we can put a Miami United scarf right up here. But I don't have a Miami. I do have a Miami United jersey they gave me that for the longest time he gave it to me, and I'm like, I'll never be able to fit in this. I could fit in it.
Wow. Well, another thing about for a long time there was no soccer, and Miami United was like the only soccer we had for a while.
Yeah.
So,
all
right,
for
a little while, because we had the Strikers before that, but yeah, it's interesting all the soccer that we've had.
Footballer poses a question: did anyone else here request and get refund for their Inter Miami season tickets? So I'm guessing, Footballer, you asked for a refund. If I'm guessing that. So I got an email, Ed got an email from the team saying for us to reach out to them to schedule a meeting to discuss. I have not scheduled said meeting because really my plan is just to roll it over. That money's already spent. I don't even know how much of the season has been charged because, they were charging up to a point and then I think they stopped. Right. But, I'm just going to roll it in. I'm going to 2021 games no matter what. So now I'm just prepaid for 2021, the way I look at it.
I'm doing the same thing, Peter, because if I get that money back, I'm just going to spend it.
So you're going to spend it now, and then next year you're going to have to go and do the process all over again of getting season tickets.
Why? Roll it over.
Yeah, roll it over. Unless the only reason it makes sense to ask for a refund is if you were financially hurt during this time. And then it makes complete sense. If you lost your job or you were reduced, your salary was reduced because of this, then it makes complete sense and the team needs to bend over backwards to get you your money back because you really need it. But if you're a fan like me and Ed that was able to keep our job, I've been working like normal, no change other than I'm working from home. So I like it actually. Financially I'm in the same situation as I was. I'll roll it over.
Yeah. See, Julio Enriquez is saying the same thing. He's going to roll over. He's got 2 season tickets as well. Yeah. So, yeah, I think if you've got the means, just go ahead and roll over because it's one less headache for the team as well because I'm sure it's a headache for them to return all that, that money.
So Footballer did respond that, yes, he did. He did ask for a refund. And, hey, if you need it, that's fair. I mean, that's what the team should do that, for sure. But, I'm rolling it over. I'm going to be getting tickets from them for years. But, what's interesting is I got an email from a different ticket rep. So I guess my ticket rep, which was Michelle Rodriguez, I guess maybe she's no longer with the team because it was somebody new. So I guess there's turnover.
Right.
So anyways, if you haven't gotten that email, give the team a call and discuss with them. I haven't reached out to them because it's not a big topic of conversation. It'll be a 2-second conversation of, just let it go, So I guess I'll reach out to them eventually, but I've got other pressing things that I've been dealing with lately, like this house. So, Yeah. So here's Footballer says, to continue in that conversation, I had paid for the tickets in full, so I got my full refund. I had planned to go to 8 or 9 games and probably sell the remaining midweek or less attractive games. So, okay. So, everybody's in a different situation. So I'm just hoping that, and it looks like they are, that the team is flexible and working with you in whatever your situation is, and it sounds like they are. So that's good.
That's good. They are working with you because a lot of people can't do it right now. They can't afford it.
And I understand that. Yeah, of course. And everybody's in a different situation. But Ed, I think that's about it. I think we talked a lot of good stuff tonight. We talked to the fans. Everybody in the chat room was super awesome. All of our chatters, our community here is growing, and you guys, I love when you guys are talking with each other.
And I can't wait until we finally have a game to talk because then we're probably going to go for like 2 hours and we're just going to keep blabbing our mouths. And one of all the ideas that we've had is that we want to do like after game, like an after game show live, out there in the stadium. And then we'll probably still have the Sunday show. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out because it's going to be a whole different monster.
Yeah.
And we planned on going to games as well. We only got to go to one.
Yeah.
And we didn't go to DC because it was too close to the other one, and we figured there were more games that were coming, but you know, they pulled the plug on us before time, so here we are.
Yeah. One other thing before we go is a new Weissman said even Atlanta isn't refunding us. So he's saying I'm rolling over. So they're not offering to refund. That's interesting. I would think all the MLS teams would be offering it. But anyways, and here, let's finish on this because this is appropriate. Ed, One World, One Goal says, enjoy the Memorial Day. Thanks for your service, Ed. So Ed was a, Army, right?
I was in the Army. I was mechanized infantry. I drove a tank during the Persian Gulf War.
Nice. Nice. So, yeah, everybody have a great Memorial Day. Thanks for your service. Enjoy spending time with your family. Remember those from the service and all that kind of stuff. If you know anybody that was in the service, why not give them a call? My brother was almost 20 years a Marine, so I'll give him a call tomorrow and talk to him a little bit. So, hey, everybody, thanks so much for watching.
Don't forget the shows that are coming up this week.
We got the Tuesday show.
Tuesday
in Spanish.
With Luis Omar Tapia from Univision. And Peter's going to do his news, local news.
That's the plan. Unless something comes up with this housing stuff. But the plan is to do a news show on Thursday. And thanks for joining in with the fun, guys. And we will see you later in the week. Bye.